This is student A. They study about 33 minutes daily, get a full 8 hours of sleep, maintain an active social life, and still consistently rank in the top 5% of their class. Most of their study time is spent taking practice exams and teaching concepts to classmates. Now meet student B. They study 4 hours every day, sacrifice sleep, rarely hang out with friends, and still struggle to hold on to a B average. They fill notebooks with highlighted passages and spend hours rereading chapters. So what sets them apart? It's not intelligence. It's not dedication. It's not luck. It's how they study, not how long they study. But before we dive in, take a moment to rate your current study habits on a scale from 1 to 10. Got your number? Cool. By the end of this video, let's see if you still think it deserves that score. Plus, I'll share the exact study strategy that helped me go from B's and C's to straight A's. I'll never forget the night that changed everything. I was sitting in my dorm room during junior year, empty coffee cups everywhere, notebooks scattered across the desk. It was 3 a.m., and I'd been cramming for 12 hours straight for a psychology exam. I thought I was doing everything right, highlighting important points, rereading chapters, writing perfect-looking notes. But deep down, I knew something wasn't clicking. Even after all those hours, the material was slipping through my mind like sand through my fingers. That night changed everything. Not because I passed the test, but because I failed badly. It forced me to face a tough truth. I didn't actually know how to study effectively. The productivity illusion. Think about it. We've all fallen into this trap, drenching our textbooks in highlighter ink until they look like abstract art, rereading the same paragraph dozens of times, hoping it'll finally stick, or writing pages of notes we never look at again. It's like those saved Instagram reels we never go back to. We mistake time spent studying for information actually learned. You know you're stuck in this trap if you spend more time picking the perfect highlighter color than actually understanding the material. Or if you create the perfect study playlist but realize you spent more time curating it than actually studying. But nobody teaches us this in school. Because studying isn't about time, it's about strategy. Let me explain. The consumption trap. There's a myth that the more information you take in, reading more pages, watching more videos, cramming more hours, the more you'll learn. Schools reinforce this by saying things like study for 3 hours or review the entire chapter. But here's the reality. Your brain isn't a sponge that automatically soaks up facts. It's more like a muscle that needs training and rest to grow. Here's a formula that transformed my study approach. Real learning equals amount of information, retention rate. Imagine two students. One studies 5 hours but retains only 10% of the material. The other studies 1 hour but retains 50%. Both end up retaining the same amount, but the first student wasted 4 extra hours. If you study 5 hours and only retain 10%, you really only gained 30 minutes of effective study. But if you study 1 hour and retain 50%, you save time and energy. Now what if I told you that studying less could actually improve your grades? Sounds wild, right? Especially when every YouTube video is shouting, study harder. Why are you being lazy? Get up and grind. Yeah, no, ignore that noise. The power of active learning. When I started studying less, my grades actually improved. Here's why. Before, I'd spend hours rereading textbooks, highlighting everything, rewriting notes, but I'd forget most of it. Once I switched to active learning, using practice questions, explaining concepts aloud, applying info to real-world problems, my retention shot up from 10% to 70%. Passive studying is like trying to fill a bucket with holes. You can pour in as much water as you want, but it'll leak out. The key is to plug the holes first, so the knowledge actually sticks. The result? I cut my study time in half, and my grades jumped from B's and C's to straight A's. Now you're probably wondering, okay, so how do I study less and retain more? Don't worry, I've got you. Here's the exact strategy that works. 1. Break study sessions into smaller chunks. 30 to 60 minutes per subject works best. 2. Quiz yourself before reviewing. Test what you already know, spot your weak areas. 3. Focus on what you struggle with. Don't waste time relearning what you already know. 4. Use active study techniques. Answer questions, explain concepts aloud, or use flashcards. 5. Make connections between ideas. Linking concepts makes them easier to recall later. Number 6. Quickly review before bed. Your brain strengthens memories while you sleep. Now, think back to the number you gave your study habits at the beginning. Do you still believe it deserves that score? If not, that's your first sign you're ready to level up. Thanks for watching.